welcome back. This is going to be a quick one, but one I felt needed to be made. As I was making another ElevenLabs video, literally in the middle of the recording, they updated the entire user interface for the Voices library, and sort of made a lot of what I showed in the first overview video, at worst incorrect, at the least annoying. But here's how different things are now. When you first click on the Voices tab, instead of seeing this, you now see this, which is called the Explore tab, as you can see at the top. This is where you can discover and add voices created by the community. Looking at the other tabs, there's My Voices, which has your clone voices and saved community voices. Default Voices, where they have ElevenLabs original voices available for everyone without the need to use your voice slots. Then we have the final and new tab, Collections. Here you can organize voices into personal collections. We'll take a look at that after we check out the UI changes. Before you do any searches, organization, or filter changing, you'll first be presented with this current version of the Explore tab, where it has a few trending voices at the top, and you can click the little right-pointing chevron to see more of these. Below that are supposedly handpicked for your use case. I'm not sure yet how it knows what uses I need anything for yet, but either way, you can click on any of them and see a bunch of voices that should meet that criteria. From there, it continues with Best for English, which may be different for whoever is using ElevenLabs based on the language they normally use. And this is followed by a bunch of language options with voices for each of them. And finally, below this is something I found to be quite disappointing. There are 3 collections: the Deepak Chopra Meditative Voices Collection, the John Wayne Rugged Men Collection, and the Maya Angelou Poetic Voices Collection. You'll notice they all have the trademark symbol, but the only reason for this is so that they could use their names. But it has nothing to do with their actual voices. You could have done an easy search for these types of voices either way, without these collections having been made, so I really don't see the point. So back to the top, it's the same as far as search goes. Put in any search terms and it will filter through all 5,000 plus voices to show those that match. And you'll notice that as soon as you do start typing anything, the trending voices and everything else goes away. Even the way the results are listed have changed, and for the better in my opinion. The very first column is the circular icon itself. I don't believe the color matters at all. However, there can be one difference, and that's if it has a check mark on it. These are the voices that are labeled as high quality, but don't let that fool you, as many of the ones without check marks are just as good in quality. The second column is, obviously, the title and the description that is usually cut short. Next, you're shown what language the voice is and what accent it uses. After that is one of the 7 different categories that you can filter by, which are narrative and story, conversational, characters and animation, social media, entertainment and TV, advertisement, and informative and educational. But because I went with villain for my search, a few of those won't show up right now. I'm surprised conversational did. The next column is where it can be a bit confusing, and it's here where you can see the little $ icons for some of the voices. There are a lot for this search, while some searches won't show any or very few. But just know that if it has any of these, when you choose to use the voice, it will cost more credits than usual. When you mouse over the icon, you'll see something like $0.2 per 1,000 characters on all models and plans. The 0.2 can be different from voice to voice. In other words, it could be 0.1 or 0.16 or whatever. The important thing is to know that it's going to cost more credits, and then to double check when generating with a voice how much it is actually going to cost you before using it, to make sure you don't think you're paying too much. After that is for live moderation. Honestly, I don't quite understand this, but apparently it's stating that ElevenLabs has live moderation when using these voices to, well, moderate whether or not the voice is being used for something that goes against the terms of service. It doesn't come up too often. I just steer clear of the ones that have it, if I can. Next is what's called the notice period. At first I didn't think this was a big deal, but if you're using a voice that you really like and want to continue using it, but that person that created it decides to take it down or not let others use it anymore, this is how long you have from that moment to use it until it's taken down permanently. The following column is the user quantity. This is how many users of ElevenLabs have added this voice to their voice collection to be used. It's a good way to measure how popular a voice is. Sometimes this is good, but sometimes you may not want a voice that 200,000 other people are also using. The second to last column is either showing you that you have the voice already added to your voice collection, or it's a plus symbol so that you can add it to your collection. If it's already in your collection and you click on the icon, it will bring you to the text-to-speech page to start using that voice. The last column with the ellipses is for more actions, which include copy voice link, copy voice ID, and view similar. The first literally just creates a link that you can save or give to somebody else so that they can get a direct link to that voice so they can use or refer to it. The voice ID is kind of the same thing, but only has the ID that you can put into the search field to go directly to that voice. And view similar should be pretty obvious. It will show you a list of voices that it believes are similar to the voice you selected. One more thing when looking at the voices. If you mouse over any of the names or descriptions, you get all the information of that voice. It shows you a longer description, and if it's still too long, there's a small read more link to extend to the full description. It also shows the notice period, how many users have it in their library, the extra cost if it has one, and the characters. This actually shows how many characters have been spent on using this voice so far. So this one has 25.2 million for a voice with only 4.1 thousand users. There are 13 voices that so far have over 1 billion characters, one up to over 5 billion. That's a lot. That's it for columns. Back up to the top, the organize button is still the same, the button that currently says trending. So it currently is organizing the results by how the voices are trending. Then you also have the options of latest, which will organize by the newest created voices at the top. Most users should be obvious. Whichever voices have the most users will be at the top. Character usage should also be obvious. Only thing is that you can't see the number in the column, so you have to mouse over the voice to see the actual number. And the last thing is the new filters window. Click on that. Now, all in one place, you can filter the language, accent, category, quality, gender, age, notice period, and also exclude any of the voices that have the custom rates. And that's it for, oh wait, I almost forgot, collections. If you are on the free or even the starter plan, this might not be all that useful for you as you don't have all that many voices that you can keep in your personal voice library to begin with. But I think this could be super useful for any project you might be working on. Keeping it simple, say you're working on an audiobook. Then you can create a collection titled the same as your book. At that point, any voice that you have in your personal library can then be added to your collection by clicking on the ellipses. Add whichever voices you want, and now you can simply go to any of the tools like text-to-speech, click on the voice dropdown, then change the All Saved Voices dropdown to the name of your collection, and it will show you only the voices from that collection so you don't have to keep searching through many others you might have. Definitely a nice quality of life feature. And now, that's it for the updated voice library interface. If you are at all interested in using ElevenLabs, I'd appreciate you clicking or using my affiliate link on the screen or in the description below. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee set up if you feel so inclined to support me that way. Hopefully this helped clear up what's changed and saved you from stumbling around trying to find your favorite voices again. If you notice anything I missed or you have a new favorite voice that you found, drop it in the comments. And as always, it helps me out a ton if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, ring that notification bell, and share this with a friend. Or maybe that mysterious voice in your head who insists on narrating your life. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.